Hello, my dear professionals. Welcome to the HR Destination, a channel that is dedicated to make you a successful HR professional. So in today's video, we are discussing the role of HR analyst. If you ever thought of becoming an HR analyst and you wondered what the role is about, and is it purely a HR role or is it purely a data role, or will it be a suitable role for you, whether you are a fit for this role or not, this video is going to answer all those questions. So if that is something that interests you, keep on watching. As the name suggests, the HR analyst is a person who helps HR team, HR department of the company to find meaningful trends, meaningful information, insights out of the data that they have. HR team holds such sensitive and important data related to employee life cycle, whether it's being related to hiring or retiring, their performance appraisals, how the attrition looks like, and whatever policies they want to implement in future. Data analyst is a person who can influence those decisions by making meaningful reports out of the data that the team has from different sources. So basically it's a data intensive job. The person has to analyze the data which is available and make it useful for the team to make decisions on it. Now some of you might have this impression that HR analyst is not a very technical job. It is a HR job, but something to do with reports and data. That kind of impression most people have. But if I have to describe this role in a very understandable way, then it is a role of a data analyst who is specifically working on HR team's data. So it is not purely HR job. It is not something where you are dealing with people, handling people, managing employees, their grievances, their other stuff. It is not related to that. It is purely a data role, and to be successful in that role, you need to be technically sound. Not that you will be writing codes day in and day out like software developers. It's definitely not that. But how you see and perceive a data analyst role, it is more or less the same. It's just that the person is working with HR team, or you can say HR domain. Now let's take a look quickly on the skill set that you will need to get started into this career field and then to be successful in this career field. So the first and foremost skill that you require in this field is expertise over Excel. Microsoft Excel is the most basic thing a company can ask for from a HR analyst or from a data analyst or from a business analyst. Though big companies do utilize various tools and softwares related to analysis, but Microsoft Excel is something which cannot be compromised, because when you begin your career, even with smaller companies, they might not have those fancy tools, and the basic skill set that they would expect from you is proficiency over Microsoft Excel. So this is a must-have skill. The second very important and obvious skill is SQL, because you will be interacting with data, you will have to extract the data, you will be talking to database in some language that it understands, and nothing like SQL. So you need some command over SQL to begin your career into HR analyst role. And next important skill is presentation and communication skills. Obviously, when you are working as an analyst, a part of your job is to represent data and to communicate the results well, and to let people know what you have derived out of that data, what meaningful information you have derived out of it. And if you cannot explain it well, whether it's in the tool or when you're verbally talking to somebody or whether you're writing an email, then you cannot make an impact even when you have beautiful results produced out of your analysis. It's very important to understand that when you have good results from your analysis, you're analyzing that data well, then it's equally important that you project or present that data well. Otherwise your effort will be wasted if nobody understands what you're trying to say or what you're trying to project with your analysis. So presentation and communication skills are very important in this field. Next comes the knowledge of some visual tool. There are various tools in the market like Power BI, Tableau, SAS. So you can pick any of those if you really want to excel in this career. You might not want to invest in them when you're starting your career. If you can, please go ahead and do, because this will give you an edge. But if you want to skip that part for a bit and first start and then eventually pick on that, then that's also equally good. There's nothing wrong in that, and a lot of small companies hire people even without that as well. But do not forget that as you grow in your career and when you scale up, you will need knowledge on these tools. Your expertise on these tools will take you ahead. And next skill comes a programming language. Now, Python and R are equally popular in the field of analysis and the field of dashboards. So both are easy to learn comparatively than other languages. So you can choose any one of that. And as I said, it's not mandatory when you give a start, but eventually you will have to learn all of this if you want to scale in your career as a HR analyst. The next skill that you would need to be successful as a HR analyst is the domain knowledge, which means you must have at least basic understanding of all HR functions, how they work, what are the operations, how the life cycle of an employee flows, what are the different tasks that a HR does, what are different kind of reports that an HR might need. So all of this knowledge will help you have that common sense when you are analyzing that data, that you'll be able to find patterns and insights fairly easy if you understand all of this. Because if you do not understand that and the data is representing that there is something wrong going on in terms of operations or in anything, then you'll not be able to figure out that it is wrong even when the data is projecting that, because you do not know how the HR function works. Domain knowledge is very crucial no matter which business you are in, no matter which data you are analyzing. Even if you are a data analyst or a business analyst, it is must to have domain knowledge. Otherwise, you will just get stuck being an average analyst, and nobody wants that. Okay, so the final thing, for whom HR analyst is a suitable job, who will make a good HR analyst? So though anybody who has interest in a particular profile and when they put effort towards it, they can become successful in it. There's nothing which is written in stone that you cannot do this or do that. Sheer hard work and dedication can beat anything. But there are two combinations that I want to suggest for whom this works like wonder. This profile becomes a beautiful fit for these two combinations, and the number one in that is a tech graduate with little bit of HR exposure can become a great HR analyst, because that person has perfect combination of technology and domain knowledge to become an HR analyst. So such people who do not want to deal with people management roles, or who do not like being in conversation with people a lot, or people who do not want to face employees or do not want to have that much interaction, which usually a HR does. I mean, if you do not like representing in the all hands, or if you do not like being on the stage, you do not like addressing people, you do not like solving employees grievances, but still you want to have a profile related to HR domain, then you can choose this profile. It will be a great fit for you. And second are those people who have served into a HR profile for quite some time. Maybe they have around 4 to 5 years of experience being a HR professional, whether they were HR journalist or HR BP or any other profile in HR, and now they want to switch their profile into little bit technical stuff. Reason can be any reason, can be like the first point as I said, that they no longer want to be in that profile where they have to interact with employees or deal with people in general, and they want to shift towards a little bit more technology role or a little bit more desk role. Then those people can learn all of these technical skills and can eventually become an HR analyst. Now for these people, because they have already worked into HR for some years, the domain knowledge will come automatically. They will make great HR analysts if they can develop the tech skills. Even if you just start with Excel and then eventually pick over other skills, it will be a beautiful combination for you as well. So those were two scenarios where people can pick and choose being a HR analyst. And who should stay away from this role? People who think this is a pure HR role where you do not need a MBA HR degree, but just your technical degree will be sufficient to land in a pure HR role. So that's a very wrong definition, because it is not a HR role. It is not a people role at all if you are assuming it to be. As I said straight away, it is a data analyst role who is working within the HR team or supporting the HR team. If you have any fancy assumptions around it, then I hope you get the clarity by watching today's video. And also there is one more thing that I want to highlight here, that you may find HR analyst title floating on the job descriptions, which are not necessarily a analyst role, but just to sound fancy, HR journalist title has been changed to a HR analyst. That can also happen these days. Companies put all sort of title to attract applications. So be very mindful when you're reading the JD. Any people oriented role is not a analyst role. An analyst role will always be data oriented, data centric. So do not get fooled by the job titles that you see. So make sure that you read the job descriptions carefully and then choose carefully. So with that, we came to the end of this video, guys. I really hope you derived some answers from this conversation, and if you still have queries, put them in the comment section. I'll answer all of them to the best of my abilities. And you stay tuned to the HR Destination for more HR career content, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.